Is life made up of big moments or a bunch of small moments that you do every single day? What truly makes up the most of your life are habits you have every day, and it's no different for frugal living. So, if you struggle to keep saving money, we're going to show you how this one frugal habit can change your life completely. Forming new habits that are geared towards making your life better can sometimes be difficult to keep. Whether you're trying to quit smoking, reduce your impulse buying of a trending item, or avoid takeout, you probably start off strong for about a week or so, but something comes up that totally ruins your progress, and you revert to your old ways. It's easy to get lost when you're trying to override old habits with new ones. So instead, focus on this one frugal habit that can change your life: budgeting. There are tons of resources on how to budget properly, but it's not a very complicated subject. You need to know your total income every month, and you need to know your total expenses every month. Once you know that, then you can see how much your allowance is every month, every week, and every day to make sure you don't spend more than you're making. But obviously, this is much easier said than done. The first thing you need to be okay with is that you're going to be making tons of mistakes, slipping up and starting from square one. For example, let's say you decide to start the frugal habit of making a budget today. You manage to keep track of your spending and stay within your specific spending limit on day 1. And you do the same throughout days 2, 3, and 4. But just as you're feeling good about your frugal living, on day 5, your friends invite you out to a gathering at a nearby pub to drink and eat lots of food. You know that you're going to go over budget if you hang out with them, but you tell yourself you want to enjoy your life and scrap the budget. Unfortunately, now that your new frugal habit has been overridden by your old habit, you stop keeping your budget and resume living the same way you were before. This story is likely relatable to most people who are trying to form new frugal habits. The thing is that this is part of the learning process and part of the proper development of frugal habits. It takes time to make a frugal habit stick and to find out how to apply it so that it fits your lifestyle. Now, while many people might give up and forget about it, try to continue forward from where you've made your mistake. But instead of just continuing from where you left off, we're going to give you 3 frugal habit tactics to help you ensure that you stay on track so that it'll be easier to maintain its growth. The first tactic is to make sure you have an accountability partner. For example, if you know someone who is already very good with finances, practices frugal living, and likes to keep track of a budget, then get them to check up with you every day or every other day to make sure that you're constantly keeping up with your budget. Or you can contact them if you're worried about a specific situation ruining your newly growing frugal habit and what to do about it if you end up in that situation. The second frugal habit tactic is to make tons of reminders to help you stay on track. By having lots of constant reminders, it'll help your mind constantly stay focused on keeping a budget even in places where budgeting doesn't matter, like the bathroom. For instance, have a note on your fridge that tells you to keep staying focused on your frugal habit and make sure you're constantly adding your expenses and staying within your daily allowance. The third frugal habit tactic is to set yourself a 2-day rule. The way this rule works is that the most days you can go without adding your expenses or staying within your budget is 2 days. So, let's say that you were busy out on a trip for 2 days and couldn't keep up with your budget. On day 3, instead of continuing on the trend, you have to force yourself to keep up with your frugal habit and add up your expenses to make sure you stick to your plan. Another example is that you may have gone over your budget for 2 days, so on the 3rd day, you need to stay within your budget so that you don't let yourself drift too far from your newly developing frugal habit. Over time, what may be just 1 day of keeping up with your new frugal habit of making a budget will turn into 1 week. And before you know it, that week will turn into 1 month, and you'll start feeling like budgeting is becoming easier. After 1 month, it'll be 4 months, and suddenly you feel like budgeting is just part of your daily routine. And this frugal habit is almost second nature to you. Once you've developed this simple habit of keeping a budget, you'll start to feel better about yourself and want to push yourself further into frugal living by learning new habits. With your higher confidence, you may want to start figuring out ways you can bring in more income, pay off your debts faster, or start saving up for a big purchase like a house. Now that you've learned how to build one habit effectively, it becomes much easier to start learning new habits that can help you grow into the person you want to be, save lots of money, and live frugally. And the greatest part is that it only took the one habit of budgeting to help you change your life completely.